I have no idea what the hell it was I just watched. But I did have fun though. I'm Purple Boy. You guys are tuning in to Purple Film. And this is my review for Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
You break the rules and become a hero. I do it and I become the enemy. This doesn't seem fair.
Go, go, go! Sam Raimi reigns supreme. He is allowed to do so much more than I thought they would allow him to do in this movie. Of course, it is still restrained, right? He doesn't, go too far, but he is still able to do a lot of the things that I love Sam Raimi for. A lot of the things that I adore his movies for. He brings some of those elements over to Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. And I am just like, what the heck is going on? Like, there were scenes in this film where I'm just like, okay, didn't expect that. I'm glad that it happened. For real, man. Like, I had a lot of fun watching this. It was hella fun. More fun than I had with Shang-Chi, with Eternals. Definitely more fun than No Way Home. Could not stand that film. Anyways, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness is definitely Sam Raimi through and through, in my opinion, and he injects so much of his style into it. And at the end of the day, that's what's going to shine most about Multiverse of Madness. It will be Sam Raimi. The camera angles, the way some of the action scenes are shot, the horror elements, right? The absolute ridiculousness of it. And one thing that he really does is he does things that he maybe knows are absolutely ridiculous, but he takes it seriously. There's one scene where there is a zombie Strange, and he's sort of, given this sort of monologue, and it's ridiculous. Like, the audience knows ridiculous, and it kind of look ridiculous. But there's no joke, right? There's no, hey, look at us. We're laughing at ourselves and we're so self-aware and we know how silly this is. So we're going to, we're going to play on that and we're going to actually laugh at ourselves so the audience won't laugh at us. And I think that's what happens. That's what Marvel tries to do to sort of avoid that. But it's like, so what? So what if some people laugh? I love the fact that, Sam Raimi can do something like that and just take it seriously and make it serious. It's like, I like that. Everything doesn't have to be undercut with the joke. Although, of course, the jokes, the humor is still here. And honestly, none of it was funny, man. A lot of the jokes in this film, I think they're getting worse. I think the jokes in these movies are getting worse. No Way Home had some No Way Home has some really cringy moments, like really dry ass who wrote this type of moments. Doctor Strange doesn't have any moments that are as bad as some of the ones in No Way Home, but these jokes do not work. They fall flat, right? There's a scene where the characters like the Illuminati will see you now, and they literally use the joke, Illuma Whatty? Who decided that was going to land? Because it did not. Now back to me praising how awesome Sam Raimi is. The camera angles in this bad boy are really good. The dude works a camera like no other director in the MCU. Although I will say that the camera work in Eternals was really good. Chloe Zhao did a really good job. I think that film's camera work is probably, top tier when it compares to all the other Marvel series. But this might have it beat because Sam Raimi captures some really awesome, wonderful shots. There is one scene, you've seen it in the trailers, where the one monster, You nerds know what monster it is. I don't know. I don't really care. Anyways, there's a scene where the monster comes out of nowhere. He starts tearing shit up, and then he tosses the bus at Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange bring out the saw. He slices that bad boy in half, and when he slices it in half, you know what I'm saying? And he essentially goes through the bus. That scene where he slices it, I mean, that shot, I'm just picturing it in my head right now. It is so freaking cool. Even the one, you know what I'm saying, shot before that where Doctor Strange sees something that's going down. He's at a wedding and, you know what I'm saying, he takes one more sip of his wine. He sits it down on a platter and he hops off the balcony. And the way he hopped off that balcony was cool as hell. I'm like, damn, okay with your smooth ass. If you are familiar with Sam Raimi's work, then you know that he is famously known for the Evil Dead films. And Evil Dead is like my top 5, maybe even top 3 horror films of all time. Like, I cannot stress to you guys enough how much I love Evil Dead. I have the cover literally attached to my back wall. He brings those horror elements that he's so good at and brings them into this film, and they work so well, especially when Wanda or Scarlet Witch is allowed to just completely let loose and just be furious. She was a force to be reckoned with, and Sam Raimi captured that perfectly. There's a scene where she's just ripping through mugs trying to capture American Chavez. And, there's a scene where they get into this tunnel. They're running through this tunnel and a door locks, or this big steel door just locks between them, and they think that they're safe. And she pops out of nowhere. I was like, oh shit. I was genuinely startled. Okay, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I have got to get into some spoilers because there are some things that I really want to talk about, and I'm about to talk about them right now. So I'm letting you know, if you ain't seen the movie yet, you might as well click off because your boy is about to get into some spoilers. I have got to talk about the piano fight. Bruh. Who scored this? Danny Elfman? Hey, listen here. Listen here. Your boy killed it. He murdered it. It was so tight. The moment I realized what they were doing, I got so giddy because I'm like, oh, this is about to be sweet. And of course, it was awesome. I loved it. Him, Doctor Strange, and his evil doppelganger, or his another variant of himself, was going at it against each other, and they were throwing notes and all. I mean, it was just, I was like, it has to be Sam Raimi, right? It has to be. That's what I mean when I say I love for these comic book films to just really embrace the the absurdity, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, dude, for so much of the Infinity Saga, the comic book films, it just felt so safe. And it's nice to see them try to break off from that, because it's clear when Kevin Feige is trying to hire more, directors with strong, voices, right? With strong visual voices, like Sam Raimi or, or Chloe Zhao, whatever. And it's I don't know. I think it's a testament to maybe them trying to be different or whatever. We'll see if that works out for them when it comes to the box office, you know what I'm saying? Because this is definitely not a Spider-Man No Way Home level of film. There are a few cameos, which I'll get to that to a minute, which were honestly underwhelming, but I'll get to why I really loved it. Actually, no, but the piano scene was cool. And like, there's so many others, like I said, there's so many creative and awesome, unexpected scenes like that I really thoroughly enjoyed. There's a scene where, Doctor Strange, there's this thing where they sort of bind themselves to another, to their other selves or other variant of themselves in another universe. And he binds himself to his character or to another body that's like dead, to another Doctor Strange that's dead. And I thought Zombie Strange was going to be a villain. That's how the previews sort of played it, but Zombie Strange ended up being basically a sort of conduit for Doctor Strange to fight Wanda, and it was awesome. When he takes over this body, these weird looking ghost starts flying everywhere, like, oh, you can't take over a dead body, yada, you can't bind into a dead body. And I was like, who the fuck are they? Why are they here? It doesn't matter, because this shit is awesome. These are the type of things I wish comic book movies would do. Push that envelope, actually seem like an actual comic book, man. I don't know. Explore the world. Do some crazy, ridiculous shit. Don't be afraid. Here's where Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness gets hella disappointing, and that's in the cameos, right? I guess the marketing wasn't really going for this, but look, the MCU, Kevin Feige is really good about weaponizing nostalgia against the fans, really trying to drum up interest and excitement and all these other things. And I will wager they wanted something along the lines, they wanted a hit along the lines of Spider-Man No Way Home. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think this is going to be it. But the cameos were cool. I really don't care. You know what I'm saying? Yes, they're cheap. They had John Krasinski in here, for goodness sake, as Reed Richards. And he was so just like, I'm just here to get, like, it was such a paycheck type of gig, right? Lashana Lynch does trying to add a little bit of character to her person. British, what's her name? I can't think of her name. Captain Carter. She's in here. Her, character from, What If is in here. Again, she's pretty cool, you know what I'm saying? They allow her to throw the shield around a little bit. But man, these cameos, I'm just like, they're nothing, right? They literally, you could have literally put in any other heroes or whatever, but this is what they decided to do. I do not care. A lot of people seem to be upset about it. A lot of people really do like it. Quite a few folks in my audience were hooping and hollering and, oh my goodness, look at Professor X showed up in his yellow, wheelchair. And I was like, okay, cool, whatever. Let's get on with the movie. But what made this sequence so cool is when WandaVision shows up and absolutely obliterates everybody. Damn. Oh, she murders these heroes, and I couldn't believe what I was watching. I want to see the movie again just so I can watch that scene again. She's cutting people in half. She's blowing people's heads off. I'm just like, what is happening? Is this a Marvel movie? Somebody please pinch me. Sam Raimi, thank you. While Stephen Strange kind of gets some character development in this, he's really struggling to figure out whether or not he's happy. You know what I mean? Which, I can understand that. Those themes kind of sort of echo with Spider-Man 2, where Spider-Man is trying to figure out whether or not he wants to be this hero or whether he's happy being this hero, or, he really wants this normal life with Mary Jane, all this other stuff. And so Stephen Strange is kind of sort of struggling with that too, but unfortunately the film moves at a breakneck pace. It doesn't allow for any sort of, it doesn't really allow Strange himself to ponder those questions of, are you happy? Do you want to be happy? The way they interject some scenes to kind of explore that is very hokey, and it almost feels like an afterthought, rather the whole point. You know what I'm saying? Which kind of sucks. I mean, to be honest, all the characters in this film kind of get the short end of the stick. I think the director Sam Raimi, I think he got the long stick because he's the one who made it out this film, really shining, I guess. Because American Chavez was very, like, she was a paper thin character. Honestly, you could have had some, just random object do the exact same thing that she did. That's terrible. But, that's a testament to the writing. Wanda, even her, I mean, right off the bat, she's a villain, right? That one scene you see in the previews where she's in this sort of field or whatnot. And, it was a nice twist, but in that scene, she reveals herself to be the villain. And I'm like, wow, that happened very quickly. And unfortunately, they really don't allow her to be a great villain because aesthetically, I mean, when she's around messing dudes up and doing her little thing, man, she's awesome. She's amazing. She's the most brutal villain the MCU has ever had. Probably the most powerful as well. But man, when it comes to, how she's written in this film, it sucks. It is terrible. It's not that great. They really, the best way that I can describe it is what they did to Thanos in Endgame. Thanos is this kind of layered character in Infinity War. He has motivation. He believes in what he's doing and all this other stuff. And in Endgame, he's just a typical cutout villain. And that's exactly what Wanda is in this film. She's a cookie cutter cardboard villain. Hello then, and honestly, the way they do her character doesn't erase what happened in WandaVision. I think the events in WandaVision actually helps a little bit with the motivations of her character in this film, but then that means you have to go watch WandaVision. That's just terrible, right? But I think that series helps, with her motivations, but they really don't show her becoming what she is in this movie. She is murdering people and she's willing to murder a child to get what she wants. Wanda, or Scarlet Witch, in this film just makes me hate the ending of WandaVision more so. I do consider WandaVision, pretty high up on the list when it compares to the other MCU shows, but that finale was terrible, and this film just makes me hate that finale even more so. The fact that they had Monica just validate Wanda for enslaving an entire town, saying that, oh, they will never know what you lost and sacrifice. Like, who cares? She enslaved a lot of people. At this point, she's a villain, right? And we saw a glimpse of that, villain behavior in WandaVision, but they didn't take it far enough. So I'm curious as to why they decided to just kind of make this seemingly large leap into this completely crazy ass woman who cannot stop calling herself a mother. Like, she literally just kept saying, I'm a mother, I'm a mother. Wanda, why are you mercilessly murdering people? Because I'm a mother. And that's what mothers do. They murder people for their children. Okay, Super Karen. It really is unfortunate that this film is so bogged down by pretty much everything that's wrong with the MCU, right? The terrible humor, the constant need to set up the next thing. You know what I'm saying? The sort of plot and the pacing and just the paper thin characters and villains. This has every single problem that you can think of under the sun when it comes to an MCU film. But Sam Raimi does just enough to keep it from feeling like another soulless, factory project. And everything I loved about this, everything I had fun with, did come from Sam Raimi. So maybe it's a good thing that this movie was 2 hours long, because 2.5 hours might have been pushing it, when in actuality there's not a whole lot here that really would interest me. Like, seriously, I'm not lying. There's not a whole lot here outside of Sam Raimi and what he was able to do that is interesting, right? I mean, Elizabeth Olsen and Benedict Cumberbatch, you know what I'm saying? I mean, they're great in their roles, right? I didn't think the actress who played America Chavez was all that interesting as a performer, you know what I mean? But, you know, Elizabeth Olsen and Benedict Cumberbatch do carry the film, right? They carry the film, their characters carry the film, and they do a solid job with it. So there's just enough here for me to have thoroughly enjoyed this. But yeah, man, I mean, you've watched all my videos, right? Go watch my Spider-Man No Way Home video. All the complaints there about, you know, terrible CGI and stuff like that, I will take that and apply it to this film as well. I guess I'm at the point where I just really don't care. I don't care enough for anything coming out of Marvel to get mad at this stuff anymore, for doing shit that they've been doing for a decade now. I don't care. I don't get upset. I just, look, you know what? Hey, I'm gonna walk in the theater, I'm gonna have a good time, and it is what it is, and I will give my review or score afterwards, right? These are at the very best popcorn films. That's really all these films are. And maybe I'm feeling like this because, hey, you know, we've gotten so many amazing films this year already. The Batman, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Northman, Turning Red. Like, we've already got some really good stuff, man. And so watching this really good stuff and then coming to something like this is like, ugh. But you know what? Hey, I can say that at least it wasn't a waste of 2 hours. You want to know what else wasn't a waste of time? Moon Knight. You can check out my review for that series by clicking that video right there. Drop a like and subscribe. And the next film you watch, I hope it encourages, inspires, and entertains. Thanks for watching.